Captain Vigilance is the most talked about movie right now because of the violent and controversial message it sends to society. While right-wing groups are fighting against the restrictions the film is facing, left-wing critics are busy degrading both the movie and its supporters. Elon Musk, one of the most famous figures of the rightist group today, even posted the full movie on his Twitter account after it was banned from releasing in Germany. However, the ban only made it more famous, driving it into the top 3 most watched movies in the US alone. The most important and controversial figure in the movie is Captain Vigilance, is a purely fictional character. He never existed in real life, nor has any immigrant hunting vigilante like him ever appeared in Europe. A major plot point of the movie shows a government unable to provide justice to its everyday citizens. Instead of taking decisive action against these immigrants, the state does nothing. The film depicts how immigrants and criminally minded youth cause problems wherever they go, disrupting the peace and ruining the local areas. It also shows them bullying normal citizens. In reality, much like in the movie, Europe is struggling to provide justice to its citizens because of massive loopholes in its judicial system. Unlike the US, the European judiciary focuses heavily on rehabilitation, prioritizing a second chance for the individual over prison time. The goal of their courts is to reform criminals so they do not reoffend, rather than locking them away for decades. Many find this approach incredibly frustrating, asking why a pedophile or a murderer should be allowed to roam free in a neighborhood after committing such heinous crimes.
I made a terrible wish, and now my whole family have disappeared! Good.
As many of you may know, the sexual assault storyline in the movie was real and was inspired by the infamous 2016 Hamburg case, where a 14-year-old girl was gang-raped by a group of teenage boys and young men, many of whom were of migrant backgrounds. Because the perpetrators were minors at the time, they were tried under strict German juvenile law, which prioritizes rehabilitation over harsh punishment. What is even more shocking is that while a juvenile is classified as under 18 in most of the world, in much of Europe, this leniency extends up to the age of 21. Please note, the arguments I am about to present do not reflect my personal views. Instead, they represent the theories and perspectives of Islamophobic and xenophobic groups. In the movie, a pro-Islamic family is shown justifying these actions, claiming that the girl deserved to be raped and that all girls in the US and Europe deserve it simply because of their dress code. While the film doesn't provide any specific information about where this fictional Muslim family is from, we do know the details of the real-life 2016 Hamburg case. In that actual case, the immigrants involved came from backgrounds including Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Montenegro. In reality, just like in the movie, people argue that the government was afraid to punish the accused simply because they didn't want to be called racist. Critics find it absurd that a country would show mercy to these immigrants instead of deporting them. This ties into a well-known theory regarding the influx of migrants from the Middle East each year. According to this theory, the process happens in stages. In the first stage, they arrive in mass numbers, outbreed the native population, and play the victim card. In the second stage, they essentially become untouchable, to the point where regular citizens can be arrested just for speaking out against them. The third stage is where they allegedly turn the host nation into the country they left behind, a place where child marriage, sex slavery, and bestiality are completely legal. In this stage, if a girl steps outside without a hijab, she will almost certainly be killed. According to this theory, these migrants come from nations where free speech is prohibited, and where speaking against the religion or practicing any faith other than Islam can get you killed. Once again, I want to emphasize that these are not my words. These are the explicit arguments made by Islamophobic groups and the core themes presented in the movie.
This was not a single incident. Many similar cases have occurred in recent years. Take the 2018 Freiburg gang rape, for example, where the majority of the accused were Syrian refugees who did not face harsh sentences from the judiciary. Then there was the 2019 Mulheim assault, where an 18-year-old woman was violently attacked and raped in a park by a group of 5 teenagers, all of whom were Bulgarian nationals. They too avoided severe legal consequences. Does the government not see how a new generation of youth is becoming increasingly drawn to crime and violence? Is there a deeper issue with the school systems, or are crime and drugs simply becoming normalized in their day-to-day lives?